Tax reform, a major issue for the Trump presidential campaign, is now front burner for a president who is ramping up the pressure on Congress to deliver. He was in North Dakota today, traveling with a Democratic senator. Chief White House correspondent John Roberts has details. Good evening, John.
Brett, good evening to you. With arguments over the debt ceiling and government spending now postponed for at least 3 months, the president hit the road today to sell his signature campaign issue. In Mandan, North Dakota today, President Trump kept up the drumbeat for tax reform.
We need tax reform that is pro-growth, pro-jobs, pro-worker, pro-family, and yes, pro-American. And anybody that's going to vote against tax cuts and tax reforms, whether it's in North Dakota or anybody else or any place else, you got to vote against them and get them out of office.
The president is banking on bipartisan support to make his proposal a reality, bringing with him on Air Force One North Dakota Democratic Senator Heidi Heitkamp.
Everyone's saying, "What's she doing up here?" But I'll tell you what, good woman, and I think we'll have your support. I hope we'll have your support.
Bipartisanship was on the president's mind today, meeting this morning with both the Republican and Democratic congressional leadership to discuss the fall agenda, Hurricane Harvey relief, the debt ceiling, and keeping the government funded.
We have many, many things that are on the plate.
Also on the table this morning, the president's decision to rescind the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. Just before their meeting, Senator Chuck Schumer tore a strip off President Trump.
Let me say this. I want to cut to the chase. The president's decision to end DACA was heartless and it was brainless. If this order stands, hundreds of thousands of families will be ripped apart.
Aboard Air Force One following the meeting, President Trump had a far more collegial assessment of where things stand.
We discussed that also today, and Chuck and Nancy would like to see something happen, and so do I. And I said, if we can get something to happen, we're going to sign it, and we're going to make it. We're going to make a lot of happy people.
But the president also sowed a little confusion last night in response to the firestorm of criticism leveled at him for rescinding DACA, tweeting, quote, "Congress now has 6 months to legalize DACA, something the Obama administration was unable to do. If they can't, I will revisit this issue." The tweet suggested that the president might give Congress an out if they fail to enact a DACA fix. Asked about what he meant this afternoon, President Trump was playing coy.
Well, we're going to see what happens. I want to see what happens in Congress. I have a feeling that's not going to be necessary. I think they're going to make a deal. I think Congress really wants to do this.
Today, 15 states, including the president's home state of New York, filed suit against him to try to block his rescission of DACA. The people who filed the suit claimed that what the president did yesterday was illegal and designed only to placate his base by denigrating and punishing people with Mexican roots. Brett?
John Roberts live on the North Lawn. John, thanks.